The Founding of Gringotts, a Goblin's Tale. In the heart of medieval Britain, deep beneath the rugged hills, where mist clung to the earth like a whispered secret, a vast cavern pulsed with the raw magic of the land. Its walls glittered with veins of gold and quartz, their surfaces catching the flickering light of torches that hung from iron sconces, casting golden shadows that danced like spirits. The air was cool and heavy with the scent of damp stone and molten metal. The faint clang of hammers echoing through the chamber like a heartbeat. The cavern's ceiling arched high, studded with stalactites that gleamed like ancient teeth, while the floor was smooth, worn by centuries of goblin feet. The distant hum of enchantments wove a soothing melody, blending with the soft drip of water, wrapping the cavern in a dreamy calm. Here, a goblin elder named Ragnarok, canonically tied to the founding of Gringotts, stood with purpose, his eyes sharp as polished obsidian, his hands calloused from craft, his heart set on building a bank to guard the wizarding world's treasures. Ragnarok was a figure of quiet authority among his kin, his silver hair glinting in the torchlight, his robes patched but adorned with intricate metalwork that spoke of goblin artistry. Canonically known for their skill in crafting and their fierce independence, goblins like Ragnarok sought to create a stronghold where their magic could shine, a place to rival the wizard's trust. The cavern was a sanctuary, its air thick with the scent of molten gold and earth. The torch's glow, a warm pulse that countered the chill. Ragnarok's hammer rang against an anvil, its rhythm steady, his voice a low chant as he wove spells into the stone, the air shimmering with runes that glowed like starlight. The cavern's hum was a lullaby, its silence a canvas for his dreams. The founding of Gringotts, a spark that lit the dark. The creation of Gringotts was a labor of goblin ingenuity, a testament to their craft and cunning. The canon tells of Gringotts as the wizarding world's bank, its vaults carved deep into the earth, protected by spells and creatures no thief could outwit. Ragnarok led his kin, their hammers shaping keys that glowed with enchantments, their wands, for goblins wielded magic as fiercely as wizards, tracing wards that pulsed with power. The first vaults took shape, their doors forged from iron and imbued with spells that hummed like a heartbeat, their locks clicking with a satisfying snap. The air was alive with the scent of molten metal and stone. The torches flicker, casting shadows that danced across the walls, a soothing rhythm that lulled the heart. Ragnarok's hands were steady, his spells precise, the cavern a haven where Gringotts' magic was born. A dreamy pulse that wrapped the moment in peace. The goblins worked through starless nights, their hammers ringing, their chants a melody that blended with the cavern's hum. They carved tunnels that twisted like veins, leading to vaults that gleamed with gold and silver, their surfaces etched with runes that glowed faintly in the dark. The canon notes Gringotts' impregnable security, its dragon guards a later addition. But in these early days, the goblins' magic was enough. Wards that burned, locks that whispered secrets, keys that only answered to their makers. The air was thick with the scent of earth and fire, the anvil's clang a steady counterpoint. The runes glow, a soothing light that painted the cavern in shades of gold and shadow. Ragnarok's voice was a chant, his spells weaving trust into the stone. The cavern's silence, a lullaby that soothed the soul. A dreamy calm that grounded their work. The first wizards arrived, their cloaks billowing, their wands sparking with curiosity, drawn by tales of the goblin's craft. Ragnarok met them at the cavern's entrance, his gaze sharp but fair, offering vaults to safeguard their treasures. Gold, heirlooms, secrets bound in magic. The canon tells of Gringotts' role as a financial hub, trusted by wizards for centuries. Its vaults a testament to goblin-wizard alliances, however uneasy. The goblins' carts, enchanted to glide through tunnels, rattled softly, their wheels a soothing rhythm as they carried wizards to their vaults. The air was cool, the scent of stone and metal grounding, the cart's hum a melody that wrapped the journey in calm. The vault's doors gleamed, their runes pulsing. The cavern's magic, a gentle pulse that echoed Ragnarok's vision, a dreamy haven where trust was forged. The first vaults were sealed with ceremony, their locks clicking shut, their wards flaring with a golden glow. Wizards marveled at the goblins' skill, their gold safe in the earth's embrace, the cavern's hum a promise of security. Ragnarok stood watch, his hammer resting, his eyes scanning the tunnels, his heart steady with pride. The air was alive with the scent of molten gold and torchlight. The carts rattle a soothing melody. The runes glow, a beacon that lit the dark. The canon hints at Gringotts' early days, its foundations laid by goblins like Ragnarok, their craft a spark that shaped the wizarding world. The cavern's silence was a comfort, its stones warm with magic. The goblins' chants a lullaby that lulled the heart into peace, a dreamy testament to their legacy. Centuries later, Gringotts stood as a monument to that cavern, its marble halls gleaming in modern London, its vaults still secure beneath the earth. Canonically, it served Harry Potter and countless others, its carts rattling through tunnels, its dragons roaring in the depths. A student, visiting Gringotts on a summer day, stepped into its halls, the air cool with the scent of stone and polish, the teller's eyes sharp like Ragnarok's. The student rode a cart, its wheels clattering, the tunnel's walls glowing with runes, the tale of Gringotts founding a spark in their heart. The air was thick with the scent of metal and magic. The cart's hum, a soothing rhythm. The vault's glow, a dreamy light that lulled their soul. The bank's marble gleamed, its columns towering. The Goblin's legacy, a gentle pulse that resonated through time. The student imagined the medieval cavern, its torches flickering, Ragnarok's hammer ringing, the runes shimmering in the dark. They saw the goblins carving vaults, their spells weaving wards. The air alive with the scent of molten gold and stone. The cart's motion was a comfort, its rattle blending with the tunnel's hum. The rune's glow a beacon that echoed Ragnarok's vision. Gringotts' magic was a thread in the wizarding world, its vaults a testament to goblin craft, a spark that lit the heart. The student's wand rested in their pocket, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the goblin's spells. The tunnels were still, save for the cart's soft clatter and the faint hum of the bank's magic, a lullaby that wrapped them in peace. One misty evening, the student lingered in a Gringotts vault, the tale of its founding fresh in their mind, the runes' glow wrapping them in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of metal and stone, the vault's door gleaming, its lock clicking softly like a heartbeat. Outside, London's alleys stretched under a starry sky, the city's hum a distant echo of the cavern's magic. The student sat on a stone bench, a cloak draped over their shoulders, their thoughts drifting to Ragnarok, his hammer sparking, his eyes sharp with purpose. The vault's glow was a soothing light, its hum a melody that eased their heart. The bank's magic, a dreamy pulse that lulled their soul into calm. The students' eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing. The vault's cool air, a comfort that wrapped them in peace. They saw Ragnarok in the cavern, his hammer ringing. The goblin's chants weaving magic into the stone, the runes glowing with a light that guarded. The vault's air was thick with the scent of metal and earth. the rune's pulse a beacon that echoed through centuries. Gringotts was more than a bank. It was a story, a legacy of goblin craft and trust, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The vault's glow faded, but its warmth remained, a testament to Ragnarok's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The vault stood quiet, its runes a silent guardian, the tunnels beyond humming with the bank's magic. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the rune's glow and the cart's hum, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. Gringotts' towers rose above London, its marble halls a beacon, its magic a steady pulse that hummed in the stone. The tale of its founding was a melody of craft and cunning, a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep. A spark of magic woven into the heart of the wizarding world, guarding treasures with its gentle glow. A song from the deep. Life in the Mer-Village. Beneath the shimmering surface of Hogwarts' black lake, where sunlight softened into a gentle emerald glow, the Mer-Village thrived in a world of quiet wonder. Coral homes, their surfaces shimmering with bioluminescent algae, rose from the lake bed, their curves catching the faint light that filtered through the water. The air, or rather the water, was cool, scented with the briny tang of kelp and the faint musk of lake sediment, a soothing embrace that pulsed with the lake's magic. Bubbles rose in delicate spirals, their soft pops blending with the haunting songs of mer-people, their voices weaving a melody that echoed through the depths. Schools of fish darted between swaying fronds of seaweed, their scales glinting like scattered stars, while the lake's gentle current carried a dreamy calm. Here, a mer-person elder, canonically tied to the village's ancient roots, swam with grace, their scales shimmering silver, their eyes bright with the wisdom of the deep, their heart bound to the lake's secrets. The elder was a guardian of the Mer-Village, their voice a rich hum that carried tales of the lake's past, their hands skilled in weaving magic that shaped their underwater world. Canonically known as inhabitants of the Black Lake, the mer-people lived in a hidden community, their lives intertwined with Hogwarts, yet fiercely independent. The village was a sanctuary, its coral homes glowing softly, their interiors lined with shells that caught the light like pearls. The water was alive with the scent of algae and salt. The current's flow, a steady rhythm that soothed the heart. The elder's tail flicked, their movements fluid, their songs a lullaby that wove through the village. a dreamy pulse that wrapped the depths in peace. The lake a haven where their magic thrived. The creation of the Mer-Village was a tale of ancient magic. Its homes, built long before Hogwarts' towers, rose above the lake. The elder led their kin, their voices chanting spells that shaped coral into homes, their hands weaving kelp into gardens that swayed with the current. The canon hints at the Mer-people's role in the lake, their village a secret known to few, their songs guiding champions during the Triwizard Tournament. The coral glowed with bioluminescent light, its hues of emerald and sapphire casting a gentle glow across the lake bed. The water was cool, the scent of kelp grounding, the bubbles' soft pops, a soothing melody that lulled the soul. The elders' songs wove protective charms, their notes shimmering. The village a dreamy haven where Mer-people thrived, a spark of magic in the lake's heart. Daily life in the village was a rhythm of grace and purpose, the Mer-people tending their seaweed gardens, their hands deft as they harvested kelp or polished shells. Children swam in playful spirals, their laughter a high-pitched trill that blended with the elders' songs, their scales catching the light like tiny mirrors. The canon notes their distrust of humans, their lives separate yet tied to Hogwarts, their village a refuge for treasures like those guarded during the tournament. The water's current was a comfort, its flow carrying the scent of algae and fish. The coral's glow, a beacon that painted the village in shades of light and shadow. The Mer-people's songs were a lullaby, their voices weaving tales of the lake, a soothing melody that wrapped the heart in calm, a dreamy pulse that resonated through the depths. The village's treasures were guarded with care, shells and stones imbued with magic, their surfaces glowing faintly in hidden grottos. The elder swam among them, their tail flicking, their songs warding off intruders, their eyes sharp with vigilance. The canon tells of their role in the Triwizard Tournament, their songs guiding champions to retrieve what was lost, their village a challenge and a mystery. The water was alive with the hum of their magic. The bubbles rise a gentle rhythm, the coral's light a soothing glow that lulled the soul. The Mer-people moved with purpose, their scales shimmering, their voices a melody that echoed through the lake, a dreamy calm that grounded their lives, a haven where secrets were kept. The Mer-people's songs were their greatest gift, their voices carrying tales of the lake's depths, of storms and stars reflected on its surface. They sang of ancient times, of alliances with wizards, of moments when their magic touched Hogwarts shores. The water carried their notes, its current a soothing pulse, the scent of kelp and salt, a comfort that wrapped the village in peace. The canon hints at their song's power, their haunting melodies heard by those who lingered at the lake's edge. The coral homes glowed, their light blending with the lake's emerald sheen. The bubbles' soft pops, a lullaby that lulled the heart. The elder's voice was a beacon, their songs a thread in the lake's tapestry, a dreamy calm that soothed the soul into rest. Centuries later, the Mer-Village thrived, its coral homes still glowing, its songs echoing in the Black Lake's depths. Canonically, it played a role in Harry Potter's Tri-Wizard Challenge, its mer people fierce yet fair, their village a hidden world beneath Hogwarts. A modern student stood by the lake's edge, the air cool with the scent of water and grass, the castle's towers aglow under a starry sky. They heard a faint mere song, its notes drifting from the depths, the tale of the village, a spark in their heart. The lake's surface shimmered, its ripples catching the starlight, the air alive with the scent of mist and algae. The song was a melody, its haunting tones a soothing pulse, the castle's hum a dreamy counterpoint that lulled their soul. The student imagined the Mer-Village, its coral homes glowing, the elder's tale flicking, their songs weaving magic through the water. They saw mer people tending gardens, their scales shimmering, the bubbles rising like dreams, the lake's current a gentle rhythm. The village's light was a comfort, its air, or water, thick with the scent of kelp and magic. The song's glow, a beacon that echoed through time. The mer people's magic was a thread in Hogwarts' heart. Their village a spark that lit the lake's depths, a lullaby that soothed the soul. The student's wand rested in their hand, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the mer people's songs. The lake was still, save for its soft lap and the faint hum of magic, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. One starry night, the student lingered by the Black Lake, the tale of the Mer-Village fresh in their mind, the water's glow wrapping them in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of mist and grass, the stars twinkling above, their light catching the lake like scattered diamonds. The student sat on a soft bank, a cloak draped over their shoulders, their thoughts drifting to the village, its coral glowing, its songs haunting the depths. The elder's voice echoed in their mind, its melody a beacon of the lake's secrets, its hum a soothing pulse that eased their heart. The castle's towers stood tall, their magic a steady hum, the lake's ripples a lullaby that lulled their soul into calm. The students' eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing, the lake's cool air a comfort that wrapped them in peace. They saw the Mer-Village in the depths, its coral homes aglow, the Mer people's songs weaving light through the water, the bubbles rising like dreams. The lake's air was thick with the scent of kelp and magic. The starlight's glow a beacon that echoed through centuries. The Mer-Village was more than a home. It was a story, a legacy of song and secrecy, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The lake's ripples faded, the stars' glow softening, but their warmth remained, a testament to the elder's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The lake stood quiet, its waters a silent guardian, the castle's hum a steady pulse in the night. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the mere song and the lake's glow, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. The castle's towers pierced the starry sky, its magic a thread that wove through time. The tale of the Mer-Village was a melody of wonder and mystery, a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep, a spark of magic woven into the heart of Hogwarts, singing softly in the depths of the Black Lake. The evolution of Quidditch, from marshes to pitches. In the wild, wind-swept marshes of medieval Britain, where reeds swayed like whispers and the air hummed with untamed magic, a game was born that would capture the hearts of wizards for centuries. The sun hung low, painting the sky in hues of amber and rose, its light glinting off the muddy waters that pooled among the grasses. The scent of damp earth and fresh grass filled the air, mingling with the faint smoke of bonfires that crackled along the marsh's edge, their flames casting a warm glow across the scene. The whoosh of crude brooms and the cheers of a gathered crowd wove a lively melody, blending with the rustle of reeds and the distant call of birds, wrapping the marsh in a dreamy, vibrant calm. Here, a group of bold wizards, canonically tied to the origins of Quidditch, gathered, their cloaks billowing, their brooms sparking with rudimentary enchantments, their spirits alight with the thrill of a new sport. These early players were a spirited lot, their eyes bright with excitement, their hands gripping brooms crafted from gnarled wood and bound straw. Canonically linked to the game's beginnings at Quidditch Marsh, they sought to create a sport that tested skill, speed, and courage. The marsh was a playground, its air thick with the scent of mud and wildflowers, the bonfires light flickering across the players' faces. They soared on their brooms, their laughter echoing, their wands sparking as they tossed a leather ball, a proto-quaffle, through the air. The reeds swayed, their rustle a soothing rhythm. The bonfires crackle, a warm pulse that countered the evening's chill. The game was raw, chaotic, and free, a lullaby of motion that lulled the heart into a dreamy thrill. The birth of Quidditch was a moment of joyful chaos, its rules forming in the heat of play. The canon tells of its evolution from Quidditch Marsh, where players chased a charmed bird, to the structured sport with quaffles, bludgers, and the golden snitch. The wizards gathered by the bonfire, their voices a lively chant as they debated rules, their wands enchanting the ball to fly true, their brooms humming with new spells. The air shimmered with magic, the scent of leather and smoke grounding their work. The marshes hum, a melody that wove through their laughter. They crafted hoops from bent branches, their surfaces glowing with charms, the game taking shape under the starry sky. The bonfire's warmth was a comfort, their flames a beacon, the reeds' rustle a soothing pulse that lulled the soul into calm. A dreamy creation that sparked a legacy. The first matches were wild, the players soaring through the marsh, dodging reeds and each other, their brooms wobbling but swift. The proto-quaffle sailed through the air, its leather worn but glowing, the crowd's cheers a melody that echoed across the water. The canon notes the game's early form, with players chasing a bird called a snidget before the snitch was invented. Their brooms crude, but enchanted with care. Bludgers, heavy stones charmed to pursue, thudded through the air, their hum a thrilling counterpoint to the players' shouts. The marsh's air was alive with the scent of mud and magic, the bonfire's light casting dancing shadows. The game's energy, a soothing rhythm that wrapped the night in peace. The players' laughter was a lullaby, their brooms' whoosh a spark that lit the heart, a dreamy spectacle that thrilled and calmed. The game evolved over time, the wizards refining their craft, their wands weaving spells that steadied brooms and shaped the rules. A clever witch, perhaps inspired by a fleeting bird, enchanted a tiny golden orb, the first golden snitch, its wings humming with magic, its flight a challenge for the swiftest. The canon tells of the snitch's introduction, a nod to the snidget, transforming Quidditch into the sport known today. The hoops grew sturdier, their wood polished, their charms glowing brighter, the quaffle lighter, the bludgers fiercer. The Marshes' reeds swayed, their rustle blending with the crowd's cheers, the air thick with the scent of grass and smoke. The game's rhythm was a comfort, its magic a gentle pulse. The bonfire's glow, a dreamy light that lulled the soul into calm, a testament to the wizard's vision. The matches drew crowds, wizards gathering from nearby hamlets, their cloaks pooling around them as they sat by the marsh, their eyes fixed on the players soaring above. The air was alive with the hum of brooms, the quaffle's arc, a spark of excitement, the snitch's glint, a beacon in the twilight. The canon hints at Quidditch's spread, from marsh to structured pitches, its rules codified, its fame growing across the wizarding world. The players landed, their faces flushed, their laughter a melody that warmed the night. The bonfire's crackle a soothing counterpoint. The marsh's magic was a lullaby, its air thick with the scent of earth and magic. The game a dreamy thread that wove through the heart of wizarding culture. Centuries later, Quidditch thrived, its pitches alive with the roar of crowds, its players soaring on sleek brooms under Hogwarts towers. Canonically, it captivated Harry Potter and countless others, its matches a highlight of the school year, its legacy enduring in the wizarding world. A modern student stood by the Hogwarts Quidditch pitch, the air cool with the scent of grass and leather, the stands aglow with banners under a starry sky. They watched a match, the quaffle soaring, the snitch glinting, the tale of Quidditch's origins a spark in their heart. The pitch's energy was a comfort, its air alive with the hum of brooms, the crowd's cheers a soothing melody that lulled their soul. The castle's hum was a steady pulse, the game's rhythm a dreamy thrill that wrapped them in peace. The student imagined the medieval marsh, its bonfires crackling, the wizards' brooms wobbling, their laughter echoing through the reeds. They saw the first quaffle, its leather glowing, the snitch's wings humming, the hoops gleaming in the twilight. The pitch's air was thick with the scent of grass and magic, the stand's banners swaying, the game's energy a beacon that echoed through time. Quidditch's magic was a gentle pulse, its story a thread in the wizarding world, a spark that lit the heart. The student's wand rested in their hand, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the wizard's spells. The pitch was still, save for the broom's whoosh and the crowd's distant roar, a lullaby that wrapped them in calm. One crisp evening, the student lingered by the Quidditch pitch, the tale of its origins fresh in their mind. The night's breeze wrapping them in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of grass and leather, the stars twinkling above, their light catching the pitch like scattered diamonds. The student sat in the stands, a cloak draped over their shoulders, their thoughts drifting to the marsh, its bonfires glowing, its air alive with the hum of brooms and magic. The snitch's glint danced in their mind, its wings a beacon of speed, its hum a soothing pulse that eased their heart. The castle's towers stood tall, their magic a steady hum, the pitch's energy a lullaby that lulled their soul into calm. The students' eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing, the pitch's cool air a comfort that wrapped them in peace. They saw the first players in the marsh, their brooms soaring, their laughter weaving a melody, the quaffle arcing through the sky. The pitch's air was thick with the scent of grass and magic. The stars' glow, a beacon that echoed through centuries. Quidditch was more than a game. It was a story, a legacy of skill and joy, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The stand's banners swayed softly, their colors fading, but their warmth remained, a testament to the wizard's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The pitch stood quiet, its grass a silent guardian, the castle's hum a steady pulse in the night. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the broom's whoosh and the snitch's hum, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. The castle's towers pierced the starry sky, its magic a thread that wove through time. The tale of Quidditch's evolution was a melody of courage and thrill, a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep. A spark of magic woven into the heart of the wizarding world, soaring forever on enchanted brooms. The first keepers of St. Mungo's Hospital. In the soft glow of 17th century wizarding Britain, a quiet hamlet nestled among rolling hills bloomed with the promise of healing. A modest building, its wooden beams creaking gently, stood at the hamlet's heart, its windows aglow with the warm flicker of candlelight. The air was thick with the scent of lavender and simmering potions, mingling with the earthy tang of damp grass from fields beyond. Lanterns hung above the door, their golden light spilling across the cobblestone path, casting shadows that danced like whispers in the evening breeze. The distant hum of a nearby stream wove a soothing melody, blending with the soft bubble of cauldrons, wrapping the hamlet in a dreamy calm. Here, the first healers of St. Mungo's Hospital, canonically tied to its founding under Mungo Bonham, worked with quiet devotion, their robes stained with herbs, their wands sparking with gentle magic, their hearts bound to the art of mending souls. The healers were figures of compassion, their eyes bright with care, their hands steady as they stirred potions or bound wounds. Canonically known as the founders of St. Mungo's, a hospital for magical ailments and injuries, they sought to create a sanctuary where no wizard would suffer alone. The building was a haven, its wooden floors polished smooth, its walls lined with shelves of glowing vials. The air was heavy with the scent of chamomile and wax. The candles flicker, casting a cozy glow across the room. A cauldron bubbled softly, its steam curling like mist. The healers' voices, a gentle chant as they wove spells of restoration. The night outside was still, the stars twinkling above, their light a serene pulse that lulled the heart. The hospital's hum, a lullaby that wrapped the space in peace. The founding of St. Mungo's was a labor of love, its magic born in the quiet hours of twilight. The healers gathered around a wooden table, its surface worn but warm, strewn with parchment scrolls and herbs. Mungo Bonham, their leader, stood at the center, his wand tracing runes that glowed faintly, weaving wards of comfort into the walls. The canon tells of St. Mungo's as a place of healing, its wards later named for ailments like spell damage and creature injuries. The healers' spells shimmered, their chants a melody that resonated with the building's heart, the air alive with the scent of potions and magic. The candles' light danced on the walls, their glow a soothing beacon, the cauldron's bubble a steady rhythm that lulled the soul into calm. A dreamy act of creation that shaped a sanctuary. Their work was meticulous, each spell a thread in the tapestry of healing. They enchanted beds to cradle the weary, their linens soft and warm, their frames gleaming with protective charms. Potions glowed in vials, emerald for burns, sapphire for fevers, their colors catching the candlelight, their warmth a promise of relief. The air was thick with the scent of lavender and sage, the windows letting in a cool breeze that carried the scent of grass and starlight. The healers moved with purpose, their wands sparking, their voices a soft hum that blended with the stream's murmur outside. The canon hints at their early efforts, their magic laying the foundation for a hospital that would endure for centuries, a haven where hope was kindled, a lullaby that soothed the heart into peace. The first patients arrived under the cover of night, their cloaks damp with dew, their ailments varied. A wizard with a spell-burned hand, a witch shivering from a cursed fever. The healers welcomed them, their voices gentle, their wands weaving spells that glowed like moonlight. A bed cradled the wizard, its linens cool. The healer's spell easing his pain, the potion's warmth spreading through his veins. The witch sipped a glowing draught, her fever fading, her breath steadying under the healer's care. The canon notes Saint Mungo's role in treating magical mishaps, from potion accidents to creature bites, its doors open to all in need. The hospital's air was alive with the hum of healing. The candles flicker, a comforting light. The beds creak, a soothing rhythm that lulled the soul into calm. The healer's care was a quiet magic, their presence a balm for the weary. A young apprentice, burned by a misfired charm, found solace in their gentle touch, their spell a spark of relief that warmed his heart. An elder, weakened by a hex, smiled as a healer's potion restored her strength. Her gratitude, a soft melody in the room. The air was thick with the scent of herbs and wax. The cauldron's steam curling like dreams. The window's moonlight, a dreamy veil that wrapped the hospital in peace. The healers moved among the beds, their robes rustling, their wands a beacon of care, the scent of lavender grounding their work, a lullaby that soothed the heart, a testament to their devotion. Centuries later, St. Mungo's stood as a beacon of healing, its green-robed healers bustling through wards named for the ailments they cured. Canonically, it served Harry Potter and countless others, its magic enduring in the wizarding world. A modern student, visiting after a minor Quidditch injury, lay in a St. Mungo's bed, the air thick with the scent of potions and clean linen. The ward's glow, a comforting embrace. The student read of the first healers, their wands sparking, their cauldrons bubbling, the hospitals founding a spark in their heart. The tale was a melody, its words painting images of the hamlet, its candlelit rooms, its quiet hum of healing. The ward's warmth was a haven, the curtains sway, a gentle rhythm, the castle's pulse, a soothing lullaby that lulled their soul. The student imagined the 17th century hospital, its wooden beams creaking, Mungo Bonham's wand weaving runes, the healer's potions glowing with hope. They saw a patient, their pain eased by a spell, the bed's linens soft, the air alive with the scent of lavender and magic. The ward's light was a comfort, its air thick with the hum of healing. The potion's glow, a beacon that echoed the healer's care. St. Mungo's magic was a gentle pulse, its story a thread in the wizarding world, a spark that lit the heart. The student's wand rested by their side, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the healer's spells. The ward was still, save for the potion's soft bubble and the faint hum of magic, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. One starry evening, the student lingered in the St. Mungo's ward, the tale of its founding fresh in their mind, the moonlight wrapping the room in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of herbs and linen, the curtains swaying softly, their rustle blending with the stream's distant murmur. Outside, the hamlet's fields stretched under a starry sky, their grasses whispering secrets of the past. The student lay in bed, a blanket tucked around them, their thoughts drifting to Mungo Bonham, his wand sparking, his smile a beacon of care. The ward's glow was a soothing light, its hum a melody that eased their heart. The hospital's magic, a dreamy pulse that lulled their soul into calm. The students' eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing, the bed's warmth a comfort that wrapped them in peace. They saw the first healers in their hospital, their robes stained, their wands weaving spells, the potions glowing with a light that healed. The ward's air was thick with the scent of lavender and wax, the moonlight's glow, a beacon that echoed through centuries. St. Mungo's was more than a hospital. It was a story, a legacy of care and hope, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The potions bubbled softly, their steam fading, but their warmth remained, a testament to the healer's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The ward stood quiet, its beds a silent guardian of the hospital's history, the fields outside cloaked in starlight. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the moonlight and the ward's hum, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. The castle's towers pierced the starry sky, its magic a steady pulse that hummed in the stones. The tale of St. Mungo's founding was a melody of compassion and strength. a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep. A spark of magic woven into the heart of the wizarding world, guiding generations with its gentle touch. The first edition, the making of the Daily Prophet. In the bustling heart of 17th century wizarding London, a modest print shop hummed with the quiet magic of creation. Its wooden walls, weathered by time, glowed under the soft flicker of lanterns, their light casting golden shadows across stacks of parchment and gleaming presses. The air was thick with the sharp scent of ink and the earthy musk of fresh paper, mingling with the faint wax of burning candles. Quills scratched softly, their nibs dancing across scrolls, while enchanted presses clattered in a steady rhythm, their gears turning with a gentle hum that wove through the evening's hush. Outside, the cobblestone alley lay quiet, its stones glistening with evening dew, the distant murmur of the Thames a soothing melody that wrapped the shop in a dreamy calm. Here, a visionary wizard, canonically tied to the founding of the Daily Prophet, worked with fervent purpose, their robes dusted with ink, their wand sparking with the dream of sharing news across the wizarding world. The wizard was a figure of restless creativity, their eyes bright with ambition, their hands steady as they adjusted the press or charmed a quill to write. Canonically linked to the creation of the Daily Prophet, the wizarding world's premier newspaper, they sought to craft a voice that would unite wizards with tales of spells, events, and secrets. The print shop was a sanctuary, its air heavy with the scent of ink and parchment, the lantern's glow, a warm pulse that countered the night's chill. The wizard's wand moved like a conductor's baton, their spells enchanting the presses to print with precision. Their voice a soft chant that blended with the clatter of gears. The shop's hum was a lullaby, its silence a canvas for their dreams. The Daily Prophet, a spark that lit the heart of wizarding news. The creation of the first edition was a labor of magic and craftsmanship, its pages born in the quiet hours of twilight. The canon tells of the Daily Prophet as a cornerstone of wizarding society, its moving photographs and glowing headlines a marvel of enchanted ink. The wizard gathered their team, a small group of scribes and charmers, around a wooden table strewn with parchment and inkwells. Their wands sparked, weaving spells that made headlines shimmer, their quills scratching stories of Quidditch victories, ministry decrees, and magical discoveries. The air shimmered with magic, the scent of ink and wax grounding their work, the press's rhythm a soothing pulse that lulled the soul. The parchment glowed faintly, its words dancing with enchantments. The shop, a haven where news took flight. A dreamy calm that wrapped the moment in peace. The process was meticulous, each spell a thread in the tapestry of the prophet's magic. The wizard enchanted the ink to shift and glimmer, capturing images that moved. Wizards waving, brooms soaring, potions bubbling. The canon notes the paper's signature feature, its photographs alive with motion, a delight to readers across centuries. The presses clattered, their gears turning smoothly, each page printed with care, its edges crisp, its headlines bold. The air was thick with the scent of paper and magic. The lantern's light, casting dancing shadows on the walls, a soothing rhythm that blended with the Thames murmur outside. The wizards' chants were a melody, their spells weaving truth into the pages. The shop's hum, a lullaby that soothed the heart, a dreamy creation that sparked a legacy. The first edition was a moment of triumph, its pages fluttering from the press, their ink glowing with enchanted light. Wizards gathered in the shop, their cloaks pooling around them, their eyes wide as they read tales of distant lands, new spells, and whispered scandals. The canon hints at the prophet's early days, its pages carried by owls to hamlets and cities. Its words a spark that lit the wizarding world. The shop's air was alive with the rustle of parchment, the scent of ink a comfort, the press's clatter a steady pulse that wrapped the night in calm. The wizard stood among their team, their smile a beacon, their wand sparking as they sent the first papers soaring into the sky. A dreamy spectacle that lulled the soul into peace. The daily prophet spread like wildfire, its pages reaching every corner of the wizarding world, from bustling Diagon Alley to quiet village hearths. Readers marveled at the moving images. A Quidditch player dodging a bludger, a minister waving from a podium. Their stories, a melody that wove through wizarding homes. The shop's lanterns burned low, their light softening, the air thick with the scent of ink and wax. The press's hum, a soothing rhythm that echoed the wizard's vision. The canon tells of the prophet's enduring role, its pages read by Harry Potter and countless others, its influence shaping wizarding thought. The alley outside was still, its cobblestones gleaming, the Thames murmur a gentle counterpoint, the paper a dreamy thread in the tapestry of magic. Centuries later, the Daily Prophet thrived, its pages still glowing, its headlines a pulse in the wizarding world. Canonically, it reported on Harry's adventures, its words a mix of truth and rumor, its photographs a marvel of magic. A modern student sat in the Hogwarts common room, the fire crackling, its light casting golden shadows across the stone walls. The air was heavy with the scent of wood smoke and old leather. A copy of the Daily Prophet open in their lap, its pages shimmering with news. The student read of the papers, founding, the wizard's wand sparking, the presses clattering, the tale a spark in their heart. The fire's warmth was a comfort, its crackle a soothing rhythm, the parchment's rustle a lullaby that lulled their soul into calm. The student imagined the 17th century print shop, its lanterns glowing, the wizard's quills scratching, the presses humming with magic. They saw the first edition, its headlines shimmering, its photographs moving, the air alive with the scent of ink and parchment. The common room's fire popped, its embers glowing, the air thick with the scent of wood and magic. The prophet's magic was a gentle pulse, its story a thread in the wizarding world, a spark that lit the heart. The student's wand rested on the table, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the wizard's spells. The room was still, save for the fire's soft crackle and the faint rustle of the paper, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. One quiet evening, the student lingered by the common room's hearth, the tale of the Daily Prophet fresh in their mind, the fire's warmth wrapping them in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of embers and leather, the tapestries swaying softly, their threads whispering of old magic. Outside, the Hogwarts grounds stretched under a starry sky, the lake reflecting the heavens like a mirror of dreams. The student sat in a plush armchair, a blanket draped over their shoulders, their thoughts drifting to the print shop, its presses clattering, its air alive with the scent of ink and wax. The prophet's headlines glowed in their mind, their words a beacon of truth, their hum a soothing pulse that eased their heart. The student's eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing, the hearth's warmth a comfort that lulled their soul. They saw the wizard in the print shop, their wand sparking, the quills dancing, the pages fluttering with enchanted light. The common room's air was thick with the scent of wood smoke and parchment. The fire's glow a beacon that echoed through centuries. The Daily Prophet was more than a newspaper. It was a story, a legacy of connection and wonder, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The fire's embers glowed, their light fading, but their warmth remained, a testament to the wizard's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The common room stood quiet, its tapestries a silent guardian. The castle's hum a steady pulse in the night. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the fire's crackle and the prophet's rustle, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. The castle's towers pierced the starry sky, its magic a thread that wove through time. The tale of the daily prophet's founding was a melody of truth and magic, a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep, a spark of wonder woven into the heart of the wizarding world, shining forever in its glowing pages. The invention of the Portkey. In the quiet expanse of 18th century wizarding Britain, a rustic workshop stood nestled in a meadow where wild flowers swayed under a vast starry sky. Its wooden walls, weathered by time, glowed with the soft amber light of candles, their flames flickering in the evening breeze that slipped through open windows. The air was thick with the scent of polished wood and old leather, mingling with the earthy tang of grass and dew from the fields beyond. Tools littered a sturdy table, their metal surfaces glinting, while scraps of parchment curled with glowing runes, their ink shimmering faintly. The distant hoot of an owl and the rustle of leaves wove a soothing melody, blending with the workshop's gentle hum, wrapping the night in a dreamy calm. Here, a clever wizard, canonically tied to the invention of the Portkey, worked with quiet focus, their robes dusted with sawdust, their wand sparking with the dream of instant travel across the wizarding world. The wizard was a figure of restless ingenuity, their eyes bright with curiosity, their hands steady as they handled a worn boot, its leather soft but sturdy. Canonically linked to the creation of the Portkey, an enchanted object that whisks wizards to distant places, they sought to craft a tool for those bound by distance. The workshop was a sanctuary, its air heavy with the scent of wax and wood. The candles glow, casting golden shadows that danced across the walls. The wizard's wand moved with precision, their chants a soft murmur that wove spells into the boot, its leather glowing faintly with magic. The meadow outside was still, its grasses swaying, the stars twinkling above, their light a serene pulse that lulled the heart. The workshop's hum was a lullaby, its silence a canvas for their dreams, the Portkey a spark that lit the night. The creation of the Portkey was a delicate act of magic, its enchantment born in the quiet hours of twilight. The canon tells of Portkeys as ordinary objects, boots, cups, keys, imbued with spells to transport wizards, their use later regulated by the ministry. The wizard chose the boot, its laces frayed but strong, its surface warm under their touch. Their wand traced runes that shimmered like starlight, weaving spells that hummed with the promise of travel. The air shimmered, the scent of leather and wax grounding their work. The candles flicker, a soothing rhythm that blended with the meadow's rustle. The boot glowed, its magic a gentle pulse, the workshop a haven where distance was conquered, a dreamy calm that wrapped the moment in peace. The process was meticulous, each spell a thread in the tapestry of the Portkey's magic. The wizard wove charms to ensure a smooth journey, their wand sparking as they bound the boot to a distant field, its grasses imagined under a similar starry sky. The canon notes the Portkey's disorienting travel, a whirlwind of motion that lands wizards precisely where intended, as seen in the Quidditch World Cup. The air was thick with the scent of wood and magic. The tools' faint clink, a steady counterpoint. The runes glow, a soothing light that painted the workshop in shades of gold and shadow. The wizards' chants were a melody, their spells weaving possibility into the leather. The workshop's hum, a lullaby that soothed the soul, a dreamy creation that sparked a legacy. The first Portkey journey was a moment of quiet wonder. The wizard standing in the meadow, the boot glowing in their hand. They touched it, the world spinning in a rush of color and wind, landing softly in a distant field, its grasses cool underfoot, its air scented with wildflowers and dew. The canon hints at the Portkey's early trials, its magic perfected through careful craft, its journeys a marvel of wizarding ingenuity. The meadow's stars twinkled, their light unchanged, the air alive with the hum of magic, the journey's thrill a soothing pulse that lulled the heart. The wizards smiled, their cloak billowing, the boot's glow a beacon, the workshop's memory a dreamy calm that wrapped the moment in peace. The Portkey's magic spread quietly, shared with trusted peers who tested its power, their wands sparking as they touched enchanted objects, a kettle, a book, a ring, and landed in new places. The wizard taught them the spell, their voice a soft chant, the meadow's air thick with the scent of grass and magic. The canon tells of Portkey's role in events like the Tri-Wizard Tournament, their use regulated to prevent chaos, their magic a staple of wizarding travel. The workshop's candles burned low, their light softening. The tools glint a steady rhythm that blended with the owl's hoot. The Portkey's hum was a lullaby, its glow a spark that lit the night. The meadow a haven where travel was born, a dreamy pulse that soothed the soul. Centuries later, Portkeys thrived, their magic carrying wizards to Quidditch matches, secret meetings, and far-off lands. Canonically, they aided Harry Potter, whisking him to the World Cup, their journeys a whirlwind of wonder. A modern student stood in a Hogwarts field, the air cool with the scent of grass and earth, the castle's towers aglow under a starry sky. They touched a portkey, a rusted tin can, its glow warming their hand, the tale of its invention a spark in their heart. The field's grasses swayed, their rustle a soothing rhythm, the air alive with the scent of dew and magic. The Portkey's hum was a melody, its glow a dreamy light that lulled their soul, the castle's pulse a steady counterpoint that wrapped them in calm. The student imagined the 18th century workshop, its candles flickering, the wizard's wand sparking, the boot glowing with enchanted light. They saw the first journey, the world spinning, the wizard landing in a new field, the stars unchanged above. The field's air was thick with the scent of grass and leather, the Portkey's glow a beacon that echoed through time. The magic was a gentle pulse, its story a thread in the wizarding world, a spark that lit the heart. The student's wand rested in their pocket, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the wizard's spells. The field was still, save for the grasses' rustle and the faint hum of magic, a lullaby that wrapped them in peace. One starry night, the student lingered in the field, the tale of the Portkey fresh in their mind, the starlight wrapping them in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of dew and earth, the stars twinkling above, their light catching the grass like scattered diamonds. The student sat on a soft patch of ground, a cloak draped over their shoulders, their thoughts drifting to the workshop, its candles glowing, its air alive with the scent of wood and magic. The Portkey's glow danced in their mind, its hum a soothing pulse that eased their heart, the meadow's rustle a lullaby that lulled their soul into calm. The castle's towers stood tall, their magic a steady hum, the field's quiet a dreamy haven that wrapped them in peace. The students' eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing, the field's cool air a comfort that lulled their heart. They saw the wizard in the workshop, their wand sparking, the boot glowing, the world spinning in a rush of magic. The field's air was thick with the scent of grass and dew. The starlight's glow, a beacon that echoed through centuries. The Portkey was more than a tool. It was a story, a legacy of travel and wonder, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The grasses swayed softly, their rustle fading, but their warmth remained, a testament to the wizard's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The field stood quiet, its grasses a silent guardian. The castle's hum a steady pulse in the night. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the starlight and the Portkey's hum, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. The castle's towers pierced the starry sky, its magic a thread that wove through time. The tale of the Portkey's invention was a melody of ingenuity and adventure, a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep, a spark of magic woven into the heart of the wizarding world, whisking wizards to new horizons with its gentle glow. A Dragon Keeper's Journal. Life in the Romanian sanctuary. In the rugged, mist-shrouded mountains of Romania, where jagged peaks pierced the twilight sky, the Romanian dragon sanctuary sprawled across a hidden valley, alive with the raw magic of ancient creatures. The air was crisp, thick with the scent of pine and charred earth. The faint tang of smoke curling from campfires that glowed like beacons in the dusk. Their flames cast golden shadows across rocky outcrops, dancing on the craggy stone, while the distant roar of dragons echoed through the valley, blending with the wind's soft howl into a haunting melody. The ground was cool, dusted with pine needles, their scent grounding the night's wild energy. Stars twinkled above, their light filtering through the mist, wrapping the sanctuary in a dreamy calm. Here, a dragon keeper, canonically tied to the Romanian dragon sanctuary, where Charlie Weasley would later work, stood by a campfire, their robes patched with soot, their wand sparking with protective charms, their heart bound to the care of the valley's fierce inhabitants. The keeper was a figure of quiet strength, their eyes sharp with vigilance, their hands calloused from handling dragon scales and enchanted tools. Canonically linked to the sanctuary, a reserve dedicated to studying and protecting dragons like the Romanian longhorn, they lived for the thrill and duty of tending to these majestic beasts. The valley was a haven, its air heavy with the scent of smoke and pine, the campfire's glow a warm pulse that countered the mountain's chill. The keeper's journal lay open on a wooden stump, its pages glowing faintly with charmed ink, their wand tracing protective runes that shimmered in the firelight. The valley's hum was a lullaby, its silence a canvas for their work. The dragon's roars, a distant melody that lulled the heart into a dreamy calm. The sanctuary, a spark of wild magic. The establishment of the sanctuary was a tale of courage and craft, its wards woven to shield dragons from poachers and muggle eyes. The keeper stood among their kin, their wands sparking as they enchanted the valley's borders, their spells glowing like embers in the dusk. The canon tells of the Romanian sanctuary as a refuge for dragon breeds, from the green-scaled longhorn to the fierce Hebridean black. Its keepers trained to preserve these creatures' magic. They built pens of stone and spell, their surfaces warm with enchantments, the air alive with the hum of protective wards. The campfires crackled, their smoke curling like mist, the scent of pine and charred wood grounding their work. The keepers' chants were a soft melody, their spells weaving safety into the valley. The sanctuary's hum, a soothing pulse that wrapped the night in peace, a dreamy act of guardianship. Daily life in the sanctuary was a rhythm of care and vigilance, the keeper rising at dawn to tend to the dragons. They hauled slabs of meat, their wands levitating the heavy loads, the air thick with the scent of raw flesh and dragon musk. A longhorn, its scales glinting emerald, snorted sparks, its eyes gleaming as the keeper cast a calming spell, their wand glowing with a soft light. The canon notes the sanctuary's role in dragon conservation, its keepers studying behaviors, healing wounds, and guarding eggs that shimmered like jewels. The valley's air was alive with the dragon's roars, their fiery breath warming the dawn. The campfire's crackle a soothing counterpoint. The keeper's journal recorded each moment, its pages rustling, the scent of ink and pine, a comfort, a lullaby that lulled the soul into calm. The dragons were both challenge and wonder, their scales tough but delicate, their tempers fierce yet tempered by the keeper's skill. A young dragon, injured from a skirmish, lay in a stone pen, its wing torn, its breath ragged. The keeper approached, their wand weaving a healing spell, its light soothing the beast, the air shimmering with magic. The canon hints at the keeper's expertise, their spells mending scales or calming fiery tempers, as seen in Charlie Weasley's work. The dragon's eyes softened, its breath steadying. The keeper's voice, a gentle chant that blended with the valley's hum. The air was thick with the scent of smoke and earth. The pen's stone, warm. The wards glow a dreamy light that painted the scene in shades of gold and shadow. A soothing pulse that wrapped the heart in peace. The sanctuary's nights were moments of quiet reflection. The keeper sitting by the campfire, their journal open, the stars above glittering like dragon scales. They wrote of the dragon's majesty, their fiery breath lighting the night, their roars a melody that echoed through the peaks. The canon tells of the sanctuary's role in supplying dragons for the Tri-Wizard tournament, its keepers ensuring their safety and strength. The campfire's warmth was a haven, their flames casting a golden glow, the air alive with the scent of pine and magic. The keeper's quill scratched softly, their words a thread in the sanctuary's tapestry, a lullaby that soothed the soul, a dreamy calm that grounded their bond with the dragons. Centuries later, the Romanian sanctuary thrived, its valleys still echoing with dragon roars, its keepers training wizards like Charlie Weasley in the art of dragon care. Canonically, it stood as a testament to the wizarding world's respect for magical creatures, its dragons a marvel of power and beauty. A modern student, visiting the sanctuary on a rare trip, stood by a campfire, the air cool with the scent of pine and smoke, the peaks aglow under a starry sky. They held a copy of the keeper's journal, its pages glowing with charmed ink, the tale of the sanctuary's founding, a spark in their heart. The valley's hum was a melody, its air alive with the dragon's distant roars, the campfire's crackle a soothing pulse that lulled their soul into calm. The student imagined the medieval sanctuary, its campfires glowing, the keeper's wand sparking, the dragon's scales glinting in the dusk. They saw the longhorn, its fiery breath warming the valley, the wards shimmering with protective light, the air thick with the scent of smoke and pine. The campfire's warmth was a comfort, its flames blending with the stars' glow, the journal's pages a beacon that echoed through time. The sanctuary's magic was a gentle pulse, its story a thread in the wizarding world, a spark that lit the heart. The student's wand rested in their pocket, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the keeper's spells. The valley was still, save for the fire's crackle and the faint roar of dragons, a lullaby that wrapped them in peace. One misty evening, the student lingered by the sanctuary's campfire, the tale of the keeper fresh in their mind, the fire's warmth wrapping them in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of pine and charred wood, the peaks looming in the mist, their crags softened by starlight. The student sat on a rough-hewn log, a cloak draped over their shoulders, their thoughts drifting to the keeper, their wand sparking, their journal glowing with tales of dragons. The campfire's glow was a soothing light, its hum a melody that eased their heart, the valley's magic a dreamy pulse that lulled their soul into calm. The stars above twinkled, their light catching the mist like scattered embers, a beacon of the sanctuary's legacy. The students' eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing, the campfire's warmth a comfort that lulled their heart. They saw the keeper in the valley, their wand weaving spells, the dragons roaring, the wards glowing with a light that guarded. The valley's air was thick with the scent of smoke and earth. The stars' glow, a beacon that echoed through centuries. The sanctuary was more than a refuge. It was a story, a legacy of courage and care, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The campfire's embers glowed, their light fading, but their warmth remained, a testament to the keeper's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The valley stood quiet, its peaks a silent guardian, the dragon's distant roars a steady pulse in the night. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the campfire's crackle and the sanctuary's hum, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. The stars pierced the misty sky, their magic a thread that wove through time. The tale of the Romanian sanctuary was a melody of wild beauty and strength, a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep. A spark of magic woven into the heart of the wizarding world, roaring softly in the mountain's embrace. The Palace of Beauxbâtons, a history of light and alchemy, in the sun-dappled Pyrenees of medieval France, where rolling hills bloomed with wild flowers and the air shimmered with enchantment. The Beauxbâtons Academy stood as a palace of radiant beauty. Its alabaster spires soared toward a cerulean sky, their surfaces gleaming with golden filigree that caught the sunlight like liquid starlight. The gardens below were a tapestry of color, their roses and lavender swaying gently, their scent mingling with the sweet tang of honeysuckle and the faint mist of sparkling fountains. The air was warm, alive with the soft hum of magic. The fountain's gentle splash weaving a soothing melody that blended with the distant chirp of birds. The palace's walls glowed faintly, their stones infused with alchemical charms, wrapping the grounds in a dreamy calm. Here, an alchemist founder, canonically tied to Beauxbâtons' elegant history, worked with quiet grace, their robes flowing like silk, their wand sparking with refined magic, their heart set on crafting a school of light and wisdom. The alchemist was a figure of serene brilliance, their eyes bright with vision, their hands steady, as they mixed potions or traced runes in the air. Canonically linked to the founding of Beauxbâtons, a magical academy known for its grace and its role in the Triwizard Tournament, they dreamed of a haven where beauty and knowledge intertwined. The palace was a sanctuary, its halls airy and luminous, their marble floors polished to a mirror-like sheen. The air was thick with the scent of flowers and wax, the chandelier's candles flickering with a golden glow that danced across the walls. The alchemist's wand moved like a painter's brush, their chants a soft melody that wove enchantments into the stone. The gardens hum a lullaby that lulled the heart. The palace a spark of alchemical wonders. The founding of Beauxbâtons was a masterpiece of magic, its creation a symphony of light and alchemy. The canon tells of Beauxbâtons as a rival to Hogwarts, its elegance embodied in students like Fleur Delacour, its halls a beacon of refined magic. The alchemist led their companions, their wands sparking as they enchanted the spires, their spells weaving light into the walls, their potions shimmering in crystal vials. The fountains were charmed to sparkle, their water glowing with alchemical hues, their splash a soothing rhythm that echoed through the gardens. The air shimmered with magic, the scent of lavender and stone grounding their work. The chandelier's glow, a dreamy light that painted the palace in shades of gold and silver. The alchemist's chants were a melody, their spells weaving wisdom into the stones, a lullaby that soothed the soul, a dreamy calm that shaped a haven. The process was deliberate, each spell a thread in the palace's tapestry. The alchemist infused the gardens with enchantments, their roses blooming with a glow that never faded, their petals soft as silk. The halls were charmed to echo with music, their arches soaring, their surfaces etched with runes that pulsed with alchemical light. The canon hints at Beauxbâtons' connection to alchemy, its curriculum rich with potion making and charm craft, its students trained in elegance and intellect. The air was thick with the scent of honeysuckle and magic, the fountains splash a steady counterpoint, the roses glow a soothing beacon that lulled the heart. The alchemist moved through the gardens, their robes brushing the grass, their wand a spark of creation, a dreamy pulse that wrapped the palace in peace. Life in Beauxbâtons was a dance of learning and grace, the first students gliding through airy halls, their wands casting spells that glowed like starlight. They studied alchemy by crystal-clear fountains, their potions shimmering in the sunlight, their laughter a melody that blended with the garden's hum. The canon notes the school's elegance, its students, like those with Vila heritage, radiating charm, their skills showcased in the Tri-Wizard tournament. The palace's air was alive with the scent of flowers and parchment, the chandelier's light casting dancing shadows, the fountain's splash a soothing rhythm that wrapped the heart in calm. The students' robes flowed, their spells a spark of wonder. The palace a haven where wisdom bloomed, a lullaby that lulled the soul into peace. The palace's magic was a gentle presence, its halls a refuge for young wizards seeking knowledge. A student, struggling with a complex potion, found guidance under the alchemist's gaze, their wand weaving a spell that steadied the cauldron's glow. Another, practicing charms, watched their spell bloom into a cascade of light, their laughter echoing through the gardens. The air was thick with the scent of lavender and wax, the rose's petals soft underfoot, the fountain's hum a dreamy melody that soothed the heart. The alchemist's legacy was a spark of light, their spells a thread in the palace's magic, a lullaby that wrapped the students in calm, a testament to their vision of beauty and wisdom. Centuries later, Beauxbâtons stood radiant, its spires gleaming, its gardens blooming, its legacy enduring in the wizarding world. Canonically, it welcomed champions like Fleur Delacour, its elegance a rival to Hogwarts' grandeur, its magic a beacon of light. A modern student, visiting the palace on an exchange, stood in its gardens, the air warm with the scent of honeysuckle and stone, the fountains sparkling under a starry sky. They read of the alchemist's work, their wand sparking, their potions glowing, the tale of Beauxbâtons founding a spark in their heart. The garden's glow was a comfort, their air alive with the hum of magic, the fountain's splash a soothing melody that lulled their soul. The palace's light was a dreamy pulse, its roses a beacon that echoed through time. The student imagined the medieval palace, its spires rising, the alchemist's wand weaving runes, the fountains shimmering with alchemical light. They saw students dancing in the halls, their spells glowing, the gardens blooming with enchanted roses, the air thick with the scent of lavender and magic. The palace's warmth was a haven, its chandelier's glow blending with the starlight, the fountain's hum a lullaby that eased their heart. Beauxbâtons' magic was a gentle pulse, its story a thread in the wizarding world, a spark that lit the soul. The student's wand rested in their hand, its wood warm, its hum a quiet echo of the alchemist's spells. The gardens were still, save for the fountain's soft splash and the faint hum of magic. A dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. One balmy evening, the student lingered in a Beauxbâtons garden, the tale of its founding fresh in their mind. The fountain's glow, wrapping them in a gentle embrace. The air was heavy with the scent of roses and honeysuckle, the spires looming in the starlight, their golden filigree softened by dusk. The student sat on a marble bench, a cloak draped over their shoulders, their thoughts drifting to the alchemist, their wand sparking, their smile a beacon of wisdom. The fountain's splash was a soothing rhythm, its hum a melody that eased their heart. The palace's magic, a dreamy pulse that lulled their soul into calm. The stars above twinkled, their light catching the roses like scattered jewels, a beacon of the palace's legacy. The students' eyes grew heavy, their breath slowing. The garden's warmth, a comfort that lulled their heart. They saw the alchemist in the palace, their wand weaving spells, the fountains sparkling, the roses blooming with a light that glowed. The garden's air was thick with the scent of flowers and magic. The starlight's glow, a beacon that echoed through centuries. Beauxbâtons was more than a school. It was a story, a legacy of light and alchemy, a lullaby that carried them into restful sleep. The fountain's splash faded, their glow softening, but their warmth remained, a testament to the alchemist's vision, a gentle hum that lulled the listener into the soft embrace of dreams. The garden stood quiet, its roses a silent guardian, the palace's hum a steady pulse in the night. The students' thoughts drifted, carried by the fountain's song and the rose's glow, a dreamy calm that wrapped them in peace. The spires pierced the starry sky, their magic a thread that wove through time. The tale of Beauxbâtons' founding was a melody of beauty and wisdom, a soothing journey that lulled them into the calm of sleep. A spark of magic woven into the heart of the wizarding world, shining forever in its radiant halls.